Welcome students to Module 2. This is week 2 of Business Writing Skills BA 017. I'm really enjoying reading all the introductions, learning so much about your backgrounds, your career goals, your major, your certificate programs. Thank you so much for sharing all that information with your classmates and myself. I really look forward to reading your writing assignments. And this week we embark on our first topic of the business writing world, which is emails. I'm going to review this a very quick review of Module 2. So Module 2, the instructions for Module 2 in this module, the students will learn the business writing component of how to effectively write an email, the do's and don'ts of writing an email, and then you're going to also participate in a discussion about suggestions for writing emails. And regarding the grammar review, you're going to have some signed readings that I will go over them, and these are the parts right here of grammar that you will review this week. To successfully complete these modules, students will need to complete the following. You need to watch this lecture assignment and to go over the deadlines for Module 2, so you're already completing that. You need to do your assigned reading, which is going to talk about sentence writing and the different types of sentences. Your assigned reading, text, email, and etiquette. So that's basically the rules to follow for email writing. And then you need to watch the video lecture that I did for the business email topic and go over your discussion and your deadlines here. So basically for this week, you have a discussion that is due, and then you have your self-checks that are due also by the end of this week. On Saturday, your deadlines, you have 2 self-checks. Let me get this back on screen. You have 2 self-checks that have to do with your parts of speech review that we did during Module 1. So it would just be to watch that part of the video lecture for last week, and then you have 2 self-checks. They're not worth that many points. It's not very heavily weighted on your grade, but it's still an opportunity for you to check on your review of your grammar skills and see what it is that you need, what are your weak areas, what are your strong areas, and so forth. And then you have one email writing exercise. So this is going into your the video lecture. This is the where it's housed, and for the review module, then your sentence writing in this component here, you're going to be going over the components of the sentence, compound sentences, run-on sentences, the verbs, the linking verbs, fragments, and also some of the common sentence errors. And at the very end, there's an example of an email writing at work. So make sure you write this to make sure you go over what is wrong with that particular email. For the text and email etiquette, there's also a very good suggestions here on how the do's and don'ts of email. So very important that you do this before you start your email assignments. Okay. Then I have a video lecture, about 20 minutes of a video lecture. There's a PowerPoint here, and there's also the video lecture where I explain the do's and don'ts and how to write effective business emails. So make sure you do complete that assignment before you start writing your email writing assignments. Also, there's a discussion. Your first post is due by Friday, and then your replies to your 2 classmates by Saturday. So make sure that you read this article. Here's the article from the Business Insider. So it's basically the 11 top email etiquette rules that they recommend every professional should be taking. And I listed them here from 1 to 11. So make sure you select 2 and you comment on about them. And here are the questions and the suggestions for your first response. And then once your classmates respond, make sure that you also comment on on the selected suggestions that they picked. So here's the scenario for your first email homework assignment. This one is due. This one is due this Saturday, February 22nd at 11:59. So basically, the scenario here is Colin is a junior at a local university. He's applying for a scholarship and sent an email to Dr. Green, the engineering department chair, asking for a letter of recommendation. The instruction here is to go over this email and to see to fix it. So you can upload a Word document, or if you have your email, you could just do a copy paste and do a screenshot, or however you want to do it. Just make sure that you have the to in the subject line. In here, you after you watch the lecture and you review the netiquette rules for emails, make sure that you review this and fix it. What information is Colin missing? What needs to stay and what needs to be deleted from the email? Be creative and come up with your own ideas on how to best fix this email. Okay, so here he addressed the professor, and I'm not going to mention what's wrong with this email, but just fix it and turn around by February 22nd. Then your second email, you have till the end of week 3. So this one you don't need to rush. I'd rather you do the self-checks, your discussion, and email 1. So there's 4 assignments for you to do. The self-checks are only 5 questions each. So don't worry too much about that one. Don't stress too much. Just review your grammar. And this one, the email writing exercise 2, this one is due by the end of week 3. So that would be February 29th at 11:59. And here, the scenario is you're the supervisor of one unit or one department out of 6 departments in that particular office of the department, the Orange County Department of Public Social Services, DPSS. The union has made a deal with the Orange County DPSS office to allow workers to work in non-traditional work week, which means 4 days, 10 hours a week versus the 5 days, 8 hours a week. So you are in charge of the Employee Relations Committee from your office, and you're putting together a brainstorming meeting with 10 employees that are part of your committee. As your team has been asked to give an office-wide presentation to all 480 employees of all the units on the different options your co-workers have. Write an email to your fellow team members of the committee, not office-wide, because in the past the students have addressed this email to everyone in the entire company. So this is the brainstorming meeting where you're going to do the following. So this employee relations committee, you're the supervisor, and you're writing an email to your fellow team members and include in the following information in the email. However it is that you want to write it, I'm just giving you the information that needs to be included. What your team meeting is about, what is it regarding. You need to tell them that they need to prepare a handout to pass out during the presentation or presentations, because remember, there's 480 employees, so more than likely there's going to be more than one presentation. You will be meeting Monday, September 9th at 10:15 a.m. in the boardroom, whether or not you want them to RSVP. Any additional information you would like them to prepare. So be creative. I'm giving you the green light so you can be creative as a supervisor. Be creative with the recommendations, suggestions you give them, if any. And also make sure that your email, you include the following: subject line, greeting, your closing, your signature block. So make sure that you compose the email in a Word doc and upload it to this Canvas assignment. And for that one, you have an extra week. So I wouldn't worry too much about it yet until you do your self-check. You have 2 attempts to do your self-check. And it's 15 minutes, and you only get to pick 5 questions on each part of the self-check. And here is recognizing the parts of speech, again, for 50 points and 2 attempts, and you get to pick 5 questions for 10 points each. And then you're done with your module. So it is not a very difficult module. I want you to concentrate on writing your email. Again, the deadlines for your what you do need to complete by the end of this week is your discussion, and you need to fix the email from the student at the university, and then you need to do your two self checks. So the assignment writing exercise number 2 is not due till the end of next week. What you do have that it's also due is your free write from module 1. So remember, I gave you one. I usually do give you one assignment in each module that is not due that week, so you have time to concentrate on your assignments that are due that week. So this one is from the previous week, and it's due also February 22nd. That's just for me to assess your writing, and I gave you a couple of topics. And then once again, you have your discussion, your assignment, mail, your email number 1 so that you can edit and fix it, and then your self-check for the parts of speech, recognizing the parts of speech, just this grammar review, and that concludes your module 2. So make sure that if you have any questions, general questions, you pose them in the journal on the journal discussion, so that I can answer them from you. And best of luck, and I look forward to reading your business emails.